Hey yo, peace family. Welcome back to Flesh of the Gods. So on the last episode, we were witnesses to the truth not written in legal documents, but etched in the raw grief of a family. We heard the voices of Andre Hill's daughter, his ex-wife, and his sister, each one a testament to the pain and terror unleashed by a single moment. His daughter, in a heartbreaking revelation, spoke of her newfound fear of the very officer sworn to protect her, a fear born
from watching her father be gunned down while holding nothing more than a cell phone and a set of keys. Now, we return to that trial, knowing the verdict has been delivered and Adam Coy was found guilty of Andre Hill's murder. Today, we'll be rewatching day 2 of the trial, moving from the emotion to the cold hard facts of the courtroom. The narrative of what happened is a battlefield, and we focus on the most pivotal witness yet, Officer Amy Detweiler. She was the only other officer present, a ghost in the periphery of a life and death moment. We'll watch as the state meticulously questioned her, building the case for a conviction, and we'll also see the defense's intense cross-examination where they sought to dismantle her testimony and find every crack in the state's argument. This isn't just about a trial, this is about dissecting the evidence that led to a guilty verdict, watching the very story of that night be built and torn apart. We saw the horrific video that showed the tragedy of Andre Hill's death, and now we'll break down the trial day by day. All of this video footage is from the public domain. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, tap in, share with a friend, stay vigilant, stay fresh, and stay blessed. Let's go.
As the court is aware, a jury convicted former Officer Adam Coy of murder, felonious assault, and reckless homicide back on November 4th of 2024 after approximately 2.5 days of deliberation. Mr. Coy was convicted for shooting Andre Hill 4 times and killing him in a garage on Oberlin Drive on December 22nd, 2020. After hearing all the evidence, the jury determined that in light of facts and circumstances, that Mr. Coy's actions in using deadly force to shoot an unarmed man were not justified and were not what a reasonable officer would do. The events that occurred that night and during the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2020 are tragic. All the way around, the events were tragic. For the murder conviction in count 1. It's the state's position that the other 2 counts were essentially backup charges and they would merge with count 1, the murder.
So, baby sis, my brother Andre was stolen from his family. He leaves behind sisters, brothers, a daughter, 3 grandchildren who affectionately call him Big Daddy, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, and many friends who loved him dearly. My brother was such a friendly man. They on a cold December ground face down for minutes. I didn't see anyone consoling him. I didn't see anyone rendering any aid to my brother. I can't imagine the fear and shock he had about what had just happened. My name is Dr. Shauna Barnett, and I'm here today not only as Andre Hill's sister, but as a representative of a family forever changed and by irreversible act of violence. We do not get a second chance. We do not get to rewind time or bring him back. We grieve not only the man we loved, but all the moments that were stolen from us, the birthdays, the holidays, the conversations, the simple joy of being in the same room together. There is no repair, no reversal. The impact of Adam Coy's actions is permanent. My brother's life was taken in the most extreme way, without cause, without humanity, without mercy. What Adam Coy did to my brother was the maximum, and the consequences of that choice, his death, can never be undone. This is why today we're asking for the maximum sentence, because Coy made a decision that delivered the maximum pain, because the weight of what was done deserves the full weight of justice. And just as that cannot be undone, the sentence handed down today should reflect the gravity of what can never be reversed. This is not about vengeance or revenge, it's about accountability, about dignity, about honoring the value of Andre Hill's life, and the unimaginable pain left in the wake of his death.
I've had to get my daughter up off the floor. She's balled, curled up into a ball of depression and just what happened. She was daddy's little girl. Nobody can ever replace that. Officer Brown, Officer Cameron, I know all of them. They're very friendly. We still count on the police. I don't have panic attacks when I see the police. If someone looks at me sideways, that's the first thing I'm going to do is call the police.
To explain to them that a police officer took their Big Daddy away, that he's the reason their Big Daddy's not here with us no more, It's the hardest thing to do because those are the people that they tell us to rely on. If something happens, you're supposed to call the police. And that night, someone thought they was doing the right thing and they called the police, and now my dad's not here anymore. Rather, this man gets a life sentence, 15 years, 20 years, it will not change the fact or bring him back. These 5 years, he not only took my dad away, but he took me away. I am no longer able to do the things I was able to do with my dad here. I don't feel safe in Ohio. I don't feel safe around Ohio police officers.
I don't have panic attacks when I see the police. If someone looks at me sideways, that's the first thing I want to do is call the police.
Quite a difference in perspectives from the experiences.
Isn't this a nice surprise?
Murdering a completely innocent person. Right, let's keep it real. Everyone needs to go to jail. I'm sorry, but everyone on this whole beef needs to be locked up, you know?
Yeah, family, let's get into it. Day 2 of the trial of Adam Coy in the murder of Andre Hill. Starting off with the testimony of, dang, what's this lady name? Doherty? I don't know, I forgot her name already. But anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. What up, Brown Sugar Babe? What up, Indigo Kepra? I see y'all. Appreciate y'all being the first ones. Let's get it. Let's go.
Well, if we go to the meat screen. No, I think this is the way it's supposed to be. It's a follow. No. Oh. All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, welcome back to Courtroom 4B. At this time, we will continue direct examination of Officer Detweiler. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Officer Detweiler.
Hi, sir.
Hopefully I'm going to
Officer Detweiler. There we go.
pick up where I left off. You had discussed the shooting in pretty good detail, right? Do you recall that?
I don't recall the last question, no, so I don't know.
Okay.
If you remember what we were talking about, I don't recall the last question.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was headed. You wear a body-worn camera, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you talk to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury about the body-worn camera that essentially you wore back in December of 2020?
Type or,
You don't have to go into specific details, but just in general, what does it do? What type of things does it capture? Things like that.
body-worn camera at that particular time, we had some criteria as to when we would have to activate it. It was something that I would wear on the exterior of whatever outer garment I had on, and I could physically activate it with a touch of a button. So it had to be activated manually in order to capture anything. At that particular time, with the camera that we used, it was silent, so it would capture video for the entirety of the time that you had a look back, or it had a capture, well, it didn't have a look back, it would hit record, but it would be without audio until about a minute in, and then it would pick up audio. So it was a manually activated device.
And I believe at this time it had a look back period, right? Where you hit it, it recorded it, and then, but without.
50 seconds or a minute with no audio, is that, yeah.
Okay. You've switched body cams at least a couple of times since then, is that correct? Or types?
Just one.
Were you wearing a body worn camera on this night in question?
I was.
And when did you turn that on?
As soon as we made the decision to walk up the driveway is when I reached up and hit my camera to activate it.
Okay. So as soon as you decided to go approach Mr. Hill or the individual in the garage, who you didn't know him at that time, correct? You didn't know the individual's name who was in the garage?
No.
Okay. So as soon as you approached decided to approach the individual in the garage, you activated your body-worn camera, correct?
Yes.
Have you since viewed your body-worn camera from that evening?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't capture you walking up to the garage, correct?
Does not.
Okay. What are your thoughts as to why that happened?
I do not know. I can tell you that I believe that I had activated my body camera when we made the decision to approach. And when I realized the camera wasn't on, which was after the shooting had occurred, I turned it on a second time.
Okay. Did it have a light on it at that time to indicate whether it was on or
A
off?
red light, but you must understand that when we made the decision to walk up to an unknown, I was not looking down at my camera. So I reached up to activate it. I stayed trained on the garage at the time and never looked down again at my camera. It wouldn't be very safe.
Until after the shooting, then you look down again and say, "Oh, let me turn it on. I thought it was on, but it's not on." Yeah, right.
Right. Until after the shooting, then you noticed, oh crap, my camera's
For
not
whatever
on.
reason, I had looked down, realized I didn't see a red light, activated it a second time.
And when you activated the second time, that's when it activated the 60-second look back up until the time you hit it. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Officer Detweiler, I want you to take a look at what's been previously marked as Exhibit B as in Victor.
Are you getting ready to play it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will be seeing different body-worn camera throughout the trial. These videos have been redacted, so you're not going to see everything in its entirety. And they've been redacted based upon decisions that the court has made as to what would be appropriate and proper for the jurors to view. So you may play it at this time.
Thank you.
This is the essentially the first frame of that State's Exhibit V. Officer Detweiler, what do you see here?
That is me. That is my handgun and my handgun flashlight. That would be the white vehicle that's inside the garage and in the garage.
This is after the shooting, is that correct?
I believe so, but based on this still, I'm going to say yes, but I don't.
No, for sure. I'll play some more.
Yes, sir.
Pause it at 6 seconds into the video. This
Yes,
is
sir.
after the shooting.
Yes.
Play the rest of the video.
If they say 6 seconds, that's how long it took. 6 seconds. You was that in fear that you couldn't wait
I'm gonna pause it
no
at
longer than
43
6 seconds to
in.
shoot this
Officer
man.
Detweiler, what's happening here? What's going on?
This is just after a shooting, this shooting where we are actively looking for a firearm. So Officer Coy is commanding, let me see your hands, and then there's some activity where there's no response to the commands, and there's just an active looking for a threat.
All right. And what's that item there? You see a cell phone?
It appears to be.
Use your pointer, if that pointer is still up there.
To point to the,
Yes, point to the device that looks to be a cell phone.
Is that similar, or if not the same cell phone that you saw the individual holding as he was walking out of the garage?
If it's the same phone, then yes, it looks like it. Illuminated.
And above that, we see a pack of cigarettes. Is that right?
Appears to be.
I'll play the rest of the video. One minute in, is that where you hit the, you turned on your body-worn camera again?
Yes, if the look back period is 1 minute, then 1 minute would be correct. And
Give me support.
okay. 9030, we need officer support.
I copy. 94, you copy?
No, I didn't.
She's asking for officer support.
Stop the video at 1 minute 29 seconds in. You see someone coming out of that house, correct?
Yes.
Without telling the jury what that person said.
They got their
what
mutes
did you
on
say to
mic.
that
I mean,
person?
they mutes on mic. They got their mics on
Go
mute.
back inside the house.
So we can't hear what they saying. I think they muted the wrong thing from that loud audio they just played. But appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Let's build this new algorithm. Get back in the good graces of these YouTube streets.
Pausing at 1 minute 52 seconds in. Do you recognize any of the officers that are viewable here?
It sounded like I was hearing something, but I didn't hear nothing.
Yes, 94, if they're already close.
What up, Ali? I see you. Joni 4 in the building.
I copy.
What
Any
up?
cars left on the
y'all.
road if you can start
Appreciate
that
y'all
way.
joining.
1054 Overland Drive.
2-4 head.
20 head. Yep. Yep.
What's going on?
Copy.
$91.90,
9190.
For your air for officer support.
Affirm. 1054 Overland Drive.
Okay, I'll be en route. 94, also officer support.
94, you copy.
Keep the air clear.
Officer Detweiler, that was your body-worn camera that you wore that night.
Yes.
And again, as the judge stated, this is a partial recording. There's other things that were recorded, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so again, they got their mics off because they turned on the audio for the TV, but they didn't get back to the audio for their mics. I think that only happened a couple times, but I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. This is my first time watching this, actually. What up, Ali? What up, Joni 4, just in case y'all didn't hear me. Brown Sugar Babe, Indigo Kepra, appreciate y'all. Watch the rise.
Gonna pause it at 10 seconds in.
They gonna get back to the videos though right
Do you
now.
recognize this video, Officer Detweiler?
Yes.
Okay, what is this video of?
This is Officer Coy's body-worn camera.
Does
I don't recall.
when you exit your vehicle, is that the point in time where you have your brief conversation before approaching the garage?
That's correct.
Oh, now I see. You see, they muted that part on purpose. That's the part they talking about when they came and had an interaction with him before the shooting, because the defense, his attorney was trying to make it like that was the first interaction and like, oh, he was so scared because he didn't know what was gonna happen. But y'all didn't mention that y'all had already went up there and talked to him. There was no reason for y'all to be all, you know what I'm saying, interacting like that or be scared like he was about to shoot y'all. Y'all knew he wasn't that type of person. Y'all could see him. That's why they muted that part out.
And again, Officer Detweiler, what time do you draw your weapon?
The decision, it would have been upon approach up the driveway.
Okay, so sometime between the time you shone your flashlight and the time you got all the way up to the driveway, you drew your weapon.
Yes.
Did Mr. Coy have his weapon drawn?
I believe so.
And how were you carrying your weapon?
It would have been in like a low, it's called a low ready position, so it's out and in front of me but pointed down.
Okay. Your Honor, permission for the witness to stand up so to show the jurors what a low ready position is.
She may.
Thank you.
It would have been pulled from the holster and in this position here, so down in front.
And thank you for that demonstration. What's the purpose of that?
Well, action beats reaction, so I'm going to have my firearm out to eliminate the need to pull it from a holster, so it's in a position, based on what we're going to investigate, it needs to be in a position to be ready. That's part of protocol.
Okay. Playing at 36 seconds in.
Put your fucking hands out to the side. Hands out to the side now. Roll to your stomach now. Yeah. Hey, don't get fucking close. I can't see his fucking hand. Get your hand up from underneath you now. We got a medic coming. Don't move, dude. Fuck. Roll over, dude.
90-30, any additional?
So that's some of the audio. I don't know if they're going to play it all, but I know you can hear him struggling to breathe and damn near choking and all this shit. And the dude just walking back and forth, like treating him still like he a criminal. Put him in cuffs. Matter of fact, I'll pull up the video on the side while they playing this.
So, Officer Detweiler, do those videos truly and accurately depict what happened that night?
Yes. Well, they capture video of what happened. They don't capture.
All of the things that the video may not have picked up. So, after the shooting happened, what did you do? I believe you talked a little bit about this yesterday. You went and started to get scene tape. I believe that's where your video left off.
I believe I moved my vehicle first. I moved my cruiser because it was parked in the middle of the road, again, so that the medics could come in. And then I, for whatever reason, began securing the scene.
Okay. At one point in time, did you go back up to the house and provide handcuffs to secure the individual in the garage?
Yes.
Did you do anything else of significance that night? Well, I'm sorry, let me back up. You had a conversation with the investigator, correct?
Yes.
Gave him a general idea of where individuals were at the time the shooting happened?
Yes.
Like where you were, where that individual in the garage was, where Coy was?
Yes.
And then later on, you provided a more complete statement of what happened and the order of events. Is that right?
Correct.
And this location where you were on Oberlin, that's located in Franklin County, Ohio.
We would stipulate to it.
Okay. You can go ahead and answer the question, but the court will accept the stipulation.
Thank you.
Yes, Franklin County.
All right. Officer Detweiler, this isn't easy for you, correct?
It is not.
Thank you for being here. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Cross-examination?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Officer Detweiler.
Morning, sir.
We've met before, correct? We know each other, correct?
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I want to kind of start where Mr. Pearson left off on the concept of the video, right?
Yes, sir.
He asked you if it was a fair and accurate depiction. When you watch Officer Coy's body-worn camera, that's not what you're seeing, correct?
Correct.
At the scene, you're at a different angle.
Yes.
You're focused on different things, correct?
Yes.
What you're saying is what was captured on there is what it is from whatever perspective where that body-worn camera device is.
That is correct.
That device may be facing one way and an officer's head another way, correct?
Yes.
That device doesn't pick up what an officer perceives, correct?
Correct.
And more importantly, that device doesn't interpret what an officer what he or she may perceive and interpret from that perception, correct?
Correct.
You're trained or you have training with regards to perceptions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, back in 2020, you mentioned this on direct to Mr. Pearson, you were a back in 2020, were you a field training officer?
I was.
Please tell the ladies and gentlemen jury the components of that.
Field training officer is an officer that a recruit who has graduated from the academy is now an officer will go out and complete 4 months of field training. Again, we talked yesterday about practical application of the things that have been learned in the academy. And then under a field training officer, depending on the phase, you're teaching them those practical applications. So I am still currently a field training officer.
Okay. And back in December of 2020, you were a field training officer. Yes. It's my understanding you're also a certified OPATA instructor.
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury what that means. What's OPATA?
Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. Every officer in the state of Ohio is certified through OPATA. That's where you get your peace officer certificate. Within that course work, there are instructors who have the certifications to teach those who are trying to get certifications. I also have certifications through OPATA to train the trainer, meaning I can train other people to train potential officers.
And you actually train people in use of force situations, correct?
I do not train use of force, so I'm not a use of force trainer.
I apologize. So you're not certified in that?
No, sir.
You've received use of force training? Yes. And is that something you receive every year while you're a Columbus police officer?
Yes, we're required to do that.
You learn it in the academy?
Yes.
You learn it on the job, correct?
Yes.
And then you have to learn it or you're trained on it each and every year?
Yes.
Okay. They talk about case law, they talk about standards, things of that nature, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Besides that type of training, you also have to train every year on your firearm, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury what that entails.
Every year, Columbus Police, we have a variety of different required trainings. One of those required trainings is handguns. We have to go through the OPATA handgun course. We also have to go through the OPATA shotgun course and other types of shoot, don't shoot type situations. But that's an annual training that we do every year.
Part of that training, do you go to the range and be educated in those aspects?
Yes.
And is that both a classroom and a practical application out in the field?
It can be if there's new updates that are required in a classroom. For the most part, it's just shooting your firearm.
And then is there also a shoot, don't shoot course, so to speak, or scenario that you're put through for training?
Yes.
And that's done to try to expose officers or keep officers alert onto potential dangers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And explain to the ladies and gentlemen jury how that course works.
It might be moving targets or targets that just face on you. Those targets would have a variety of different pictures on them that would depict whether it's threats or non-threats. And your job is to acquire that target and determine if it's a threat.
They're trying to train you on a perceived threat, correct?
Yes.
If you perceive a deadly threat, what are you trained to do in that situation?
Respond with deadly force.
Okay. And in that setting, describe the setting for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury when that training happens.
We've had those trainings in off-site locations, but the last training we received was in our range where the targets would turn and face, so they're on a time target, so they're not facing you, then they're facing you, and you have to make a decision, and then they face away, or they could be a moving target that's moving in a different direction.
You know something's coming, right?
Yes.
In those situations. And you actually have an instructor behind you making sure that you're facing the right direction and everything. And safety is of utmost importance, correct?
Yes.
The lighting, well lit, correct?
Correct.
Earphones on, everything like that, correct? Okay, not like the picture that you saw in the video with the darkness and things like that.
No.
It's a controlled setting.
It's a controlled setting.
Well lit, well spaced out, as safe as possible.
Yes.
Okay. And in there, sometimes the target,
So does this, what he did this night, does this reflect your training? Is this is what you're really trained to do, is to shoot an unarmed man because you thought he had a gun or something that looked like a gun that he wasn't even pointing at you? What up, adventuring? I see you. Appreciate you joining, family.
when are you trained to stop shooting at a target or threat, so to speak?
When the threat is ended.
Okay. Is there any definition of that?
I don't know how to clearly define that.
Does one shot when the threat is, how are you trained to know that the threat is stopped?
When the threat is no longer a threat. So.
In the course, for example, when the sign turns the other way?
Correct.
Or if the poster goes down?
Right.
That is when the threat is stopped?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you trained to injure somebody when you believe the situation lead for use of deadly force?
No, sir.
Are you trained to kill somebody?
We're trained to shoot center mass.
Okay. Now, with regards to midwatch, it's my understanding with midwatch that your responsibilities around midwatch is a much greater area, correct?
It can be, yes. It's the entire zone.
In the entire zone. First shift, second shift, third shift, their primary area is a specific precinct, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea of midwatch is, hey, when the shifts are changing, we need people out there to respond to runs in a bigger area.
Yes.
Okay. And you had worked with Adam on numerous occasions on midwatch, correct?
Correct.
Have you've been on many runs with Adam, correct?
Many runs.
Many calls, situations like that?
Yes.
Okay. So based on when you're trained in a police officer, you're learning to become a police officer, and your everyday experiences, Officer Detweiler, are you trained to look for reasonable articulable suspicion?
Yes.
What does that mean to you, Officer Detweiler?
It's the standard by which we have the authority to stop or question or even search on some levels anybody that we believe there's suspicious activity.
If you believe there's reasonable suspicious activity, are you required to investigate?
Yes.
You can't stop and say, no, I'm not going to go forward.
No.
Okay. So it gives you the ability to investigate, maybe ask questions, find out what's going on, right?
Correct.
Does it mean do you use that on a daily basis?
Yes.
So you've used it thousands of times over your 13 years.
Yes.
In a situation when you believe you have reasonable articulable suspicion to investigate, sometimes when you investigate, I would believe that there's nothing going on.
Yeah, the outcome would be yes.
Sometimes there may lead to more investigation of potential crime going on.
Yes.
Sometimes you might actually stop a crime, correct?
Correct.
So because you believe that there's reasonable articulable suspicion to investigate doesn't mean that that's what's actually happening.
Correct.
You're trying to piece together what's not making sense, or, some type of nefarious activity may be going on.
Correct.
It doesn't mean that absolutely is going on, correct?
Correct.
And you've been wrong before on whether or not reasonable articulable suspicion led to something.
Yes.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
What is roll call for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Roll call would be, it's prior to shift, or if I have a 7 p.m. start time, at 7 p.m., the expectation is that all officers that are present and accounted for that shift would be sitting in a room or at the same table in the same location, and you would be getting maybe updates from the previous shift on anything that might be happening that day, things to watch out for. Various things are going to get covered during that roll call by your sergeant.
Are there different topics that come up in roll call, or based on your experience and training, of times of the year when you're alerted to look for certain types of crimes?
Yes.
Is Christmas one of those?
Christmas is one.
Explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Obviously, property crime is high. The rate of packages that are being delivered or left on porches, just thefts of items from people's yards. That's a common theme.
Okay. And based on your experience, do you find that those go up during the holiday time?
They do.
Look, on or off?
Probably on.
Okay. Excuse us a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Counsel, please approach.
There he go right there, Adam Coy. Mr. I think I'm innocent for shooting people. Matter of fact, while we here showing his face, I got a little clip for you real quick of Adam Coy talking about he innocent. One from the last show. We ain't gonna play the whole thing, just this little piece while they getting their stuff together. Appreciate y'all being here. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, tap in, share with a friend.
First as a deputy, and then as a police officer. Again, receiving ribbons and medals for my service. For nearly 2.5 decades, I responded to thousands of runs where it was my job to establish order from whatever chaos prompted the call. I was trained and conditioned multiple times each and every year. I also paid for and attended additional non-mandatory training on my own through the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. In those trainings, I was taught to respond to a threat without hesitation, because action beats reaction. On the night in question, I did just that. I saw what I believed was a silver snub-nosed revolver rising up to me. I yelled, "Gun!" "He has a gun," to my partner, so she knew what I saw, as we are trained. And I reacted the same way I had in hundreds of training scenarios. I drew and fired my weapon to stop a threat, to protect myself and my partner. I believe in the law. That is why I dedicated my entire adult life to it. I feel my actions were justified and within the reasonable officer condition and the standard as set forth by case law. I disagree with the jury's decision because I believe they did not understand the response a police officer is trained to perform as it relates to the Ohio Revised Code, relative case law, and they were confused by the jury instructions they received and deliberated by. So because of that, I will be appealing the ruling, not just for myself, but for everyone in the law enforcement community, doing a complicated, dangerous, ever-changing job in a world of policing. This decision in this case has far-reaching effects on the police departments of this great nation. With that said, I would like to thank my family for their support with my long battle with cancer that coincided with this process.
Yeah. Anyway, time to get back to it. That was just a little clip I wanted to play while we skip on over to the other one. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, tap in, share with a friend. Let's keep it rolling.
Well, isn't this a nice surprise?
Okay, the objection's overruled. You may proceed.
I think where I left off, so based on your experience, that's something to consider at different times of the year?
Correct.
Okay. Now, let's turn to December 22nd of 2020, okay? And where were you positioned when the run came out and you were sent on the run?
I believe it was either at the sub or somewhere in the area of 11th and Cleveland.
Okay. And how long did it take you to get to Oberlin? You didn't do lights and sirens, you didn't do that, you just drove there on a normal course?
A few minutes, less than 5 minutes.
Okay. If I told you that if you Google from where you were when you marked in to when you got there, it would take about 11 minutes, would you have any reason to disagree with that?
I would disagree just because of time of day and.
Okay. Because at night it's much faster.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I Googled it right now, it was 11 minutes. At night, it's going to be faster than that.
Correct.
Okay. You weren't timing it, correct?
No.
So when you say 5 minutes, you believe that that's about as long as it took?
Correct.
Could be a little bit longer, could be a little bit shorter. Okay. And where did you park? Where did you park when you pulled up?
Basically in the middle of the street, offset to the left, so left offset from Officer Coy's cruiser, so behind him.
Okay. And if I may, Your Honor, and I'm going to use different numbers, Your Honor, or I'm not going to admit these because the government has them already. Does that make sense? Yeah. I don't have access to that system, so I'll try to use some. May I approach the May I approach the witness?
You may.
Without. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Without tripping?
Yeah. Without hurting yourself. Yeah.
Got him! Got him!
And you were shown that yesterday, correct?
You may.
So when you pulled in onto Overland, you're actually coming down this way, correct, towards the parked vehicle?
I believe I'm headed west, so I have just turned on Oberlin. I don't recall how many houses are back when I first make the turn, but that is Cruiser 9031, and I park offset to the left behind, not directly behind, several feet behind, and in the middle of the road.
Would you use the pointer to take the path and show where you believe you ended up parking?
I would have driven up the road here, and then I'd park somewhere in this.
Okay. And you testified, thank you, Your Honor. And you testified yesterday that you then moved it in order for the medics to get in there?
Correct.
Okay. And where you parked was based on your training, correct?
Well, Where I parked was past the location of the dispatched run, but there was nothing, there were no vehicles that I recall, and I know that when I pulled onto the street, that silver SUV was not in front of the dispatch location, but I did observe Officer Coy up there, which...
So that's the point too that they didn't mention much, is that they actually showed up to the wrong house before. I don't know whoever called the police. They showed up at the wrong house, and then he came and was like, "No, that's the wrong house. It's the house down there. It's the house down there." So that's kind of suspect also, because how you call for a noise complaint, but then they show up at the wrong house and you say, "No, it's over there." Wouldn't he know where the noise was if it was that noisy? I don't know. It's crazy.
Leads me to believe that that's where I should go.
Okay. And when you first got there and you got out of your car, you testified something that was a code 4. What's a code 4 again?
Code 4 is, to me, again, this is me, that I am not needed.
That's what you were probably
I'm
hoping.
going to have a conversation that there's nothing for me to do. Again, it's just referring to the run in general, that it was over.
Okay. And so on that situation, that wasn't your understanding, correct?
That was not my understanding.
And based on your conversation with Mr. Coy, at that point in time, it was developed, hey, something's not making sense here, so to speak.
Correct.
Okay. We need to do further investigation.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you need any more communication from him to continue to investigate?
Very little.
Why?
Well, one, we have the same training, but second, we've been working together for, my entire career has been on Zone 4. My entire career was spent taking runs with Officer Coy. So we don't need to have a lot of conversation in order to understand what our objective is.
Okay. Are you friends outside of work with Officer Coy?
I would say we're friends, but no, we don't hang out outside of work.
Would you lie for Officer Coy?
I would not.
Would you hide anything for Officer Coy?
No.
Would you do that for any officer?
No.
Would you ever do that if you were testifying?
No.
So based on the conversation, so as you pull in, you realize, I think you just testified, that the car wasn't parked in the right spot.
Yes, sir. So
The initial 1054.
initial call was that the silver SUV was parked in front of 1054, I believe it was, and that it had been turning its engine on and off. It came in as a 16, would have been more like a suspicious person, suspicious vehicle. No one normally calls in on vehicles that they recognize. When I pulled onto the street, it was no longer parked in front of that particular address. It had been obviously moved or relocated up beyond, is it 1060? It would be to the west of that.
So before you got out of the car, you realize, hey, it's a suspicious person or suspicious vehicle. It's been moved. You're getting out of the vehicle. Now you realize after the conversation with Adam Coy that there's something maybe more.
Correct.
It could be nothing, correct?
Could be nothing.
It could be an ongoing crime, correct?
Could be an ongoing crime, correct?
It could be something that needs more investigation.
Yes.
So you then decide in your mind to go forward with reasonable articulable suspicion to investigate.
Yes.
Okay. What do you do next?
Well, once we determined that he was inside the garage, the gentleman was inside the garage, it was apparent that we needed to have a conversation. He was not entering the home. He did not go to the front door. He was just standing inside of the garage that was not illuminated, and
So
we have to decide to go have a conversation.
So with regards to the illumination, I think you testified to Mr. Pearson on direct that you initially saw him in the way back of the garage over kind of in front of the car.
Yes,
Okay. The video doesn't pick any of that up, correct?
it does not.
So you had observations well in advance of what Mr. Pearson showed on the body-worn camera.
Yes,
So at first, the person's kind of in the front of the car, you indicate.
yes,
And then it's my understanding that the person comes from the front of the car and then faces the outside, faces sideways of the garage.
yeah, back to the passenger door of the vehicle, facing what looked to be an interior door to the home.
Okay, so if the interior of the, you're out here, if the jury is where you are, down there.
Okay.
Okay, and the car is right here where this is. At first, he's at the front of the car. Then you see him facing the inside of the garage, facing this way, correct?
Yes,
Okay. You were able to see that, but I think you testified yesterday you could only see the shouldered areas and stuff like that.
when yes, initially, yes. When he was inside the garage toward the front of the vehicle, I'm obviously not very tall, and I'm quite a distance away, so I can just see that he's in the garage. I can't see what he's doing. And then as he moves to the side, we still haven't I still can't see all of his body.
And at what point did you draw your weapon from the holster?
It would have been upon the decision to approach up the driveway, it would have come out.
Now, when you first are approaching the driveway and you have your weapon out, you can't see individual things in the garage, correct?
Not unless they're illuminated with a flashlight.
Okay, but there's no light inside the garage?
No, sir.
The fact that when you first looked at the garage and it was completely dark with the door open, what did that, did that come across to your, what did you take into account for that?
Well, it's odd. That neighborhood's, there's property crime in that neighborhood, so an open garage could suggest they either forgot to leave their, they forgot the garage was open. And that's an open sign for burglary or somebody to steal.
All right. And so then when you saw the person in there, what did you do at that point in time, Officer Detweiler?
Well, that was the understanding that we need to have a conversation.
And when you mean, I apologize. When you mean conversation, you mean, is that the same as duty to investigate further?
Correct.
Okay. Even though you have your weapon out, you're still investigating. You don't know if anything's been done wrong yet or anything like that. You're investigating.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at that point in time, do you remember Officer Coy giving the individual in the garage commands?
Yes, he asked them to come out.
Okay. Do you know what specific words he used?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Something to say, hey, come out.
Correct.
And based on that, did you hear anything from the individual in the garage say anything?
The right, left, the right, left side. Front. Okay, all right.
Back to my client?
I did not.
Okay. You're not saying it didn't? You're not saying it did, he didn't say anything or did not say anything? You didn't hear anything?
I did not hear anything.
All right. And you indicated to Mr. Pearson on direct that he came out it wasn't immediate, it wasn't extra slow, it was somehow kind of deliberate.
It's just, right, correct.
Now, where are you at this point in time when you're observing him in the garage in the different positions in relation to Adam Coy?
Officer Coy made a diagonal approach. There was a large tree, so he made a diagonal approach. I came up the driveway. So again, we're coming up in this manner. And
So he is to your left.
Yes, sir.
Is he in front of you or behind you, or even with you?
That would be the right front, the right, left, the right, left side. Front. Okay, all right.
I think he's slightly in front of me.
Okay.
I believe.
And how far apart from one another? So you started at greater distance, and then you came closer together.
Yes.
You coming straight up the driveway,
Yes.
and then Adam Coy coming from the other yard around the tree that way.
Yes.
Okay. Is it fair to say you couldn't see what Adam Coy was seeing at that point in time?
I could not.
Okay. You could only see what straight ahead from you.
Correct.
Okay. And did your positioning stay that way as you guys approached?
It did.
Okay. Now, you saw the individual coming towards you, correct?
Yes.
Could you ever see the right side of his body from where you are, kind of straight ahead?
No.
Okay. So his body was turned away, diagonally away from you?
When he turned and he brought the cell phone, he had the cell phone up. I looked right at that cell phone. Everything on the right side was either down, behind, or obstructed.
Okay. What does the term blading mean into police terms?
Blading, the easiest way to describe it would be if you are a boxer and you're going to take a athletic kind of offset position to somebody. You're not going to stand face to face with them. You're turning your body so that you're at an angle.
Was his body at an angle in relation to you, to the right side of his body?
When he was coming around the corner of the car, yes.
Okay. So you see him coming forward towards you, and then he turns towards the car,
Yes.
based on your memory and perception?
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to see his right hand at that point?
No.
What did you think when you saw the left hand with the phone like that?
It's an unusual way to exit. I looked right at it, if that was the intent. So, I mean,
Your eyes are focused on that.
yeah, I looked right at the phone.
Did you ever take your eyes off the phone prior to the shots being fired?
Again, this happened in seconds, so I don't recall, but I don't believe so.
Okay. So now you say the individual is, if I'm walking towards you, and then comes a little bit like this to the right of the car, correct?
Yes.
He's to the left of the car's to the right.
Yes.
And
Talk about, was you able to take your eyes off the phone? Like trying to say like it was a distraction and they was holding up the gun or something. Like obviously you looking at the phone, you looking at the hands. The phone ain't that dang on bright. Y'all got flashlights on the guy.
you can see this part, but you can't see down here, lower right.
Correct.
Okay. And you say it's at the point where he gets to the end of the car, he's more bladed or less bladed?
Yes.
From your perspective.
It's an angle. If the car bumper is curved, he's walking on the curve around the bumper.
When he gets to the car, what happens to the car?
Gun. He's got a gun in his other hand.
Who says gun?
Boy.
Okay. Did you see it?
Talk about gun. No, dang well he ain't see no gun. What up, FFS? What up, tat? I see you, family. What up, Cha Diggy? I see y'all. Appreciate you joining, family. Let's keep it rolling.
Gun.
I did not.
Next thing you hear shots.
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you shoot?
I did not have a view or anything on that right side or whatever the perceived, I did not perceive it's not my view.
Did you perceive a deadly threat
Not
from your angle?
Not from my angle.
Okay. Because the right side was away from you, so to speak, from where your angle.
Yes.
Okay. Had you perceived a deadly threat, would you have fired?
I would have fired.
You didn't fire because you didn't perceive that threat that Adam Coy perceived.
Correct.
Okay. You went to approach, and Adam Coy told you not to.
Yes.
Are you trained that? Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, you're training even if someone has been a recipient of a firearm shot and they're on the ground. Could they still be a threat?
Yes.
Has that happened before? You trained that that's a known thing.
Yes.
In that situation, Adam Coy told you, stop, get away. I need to see his hands.
Yes.
Okay. Any doubt in your mind that Adam Coy believed the person had a gun?
No.
At that point in time, when he ordered him to show his hands and then rolled over, what did you do at that point in time, Officer Detweiler?
At some point in time, we had switched positions, so I don't know if you can see that I had moved to the left. I was still looking actively for the firearm.
Okay. Did you find a firearm?
I did not.
Okay. Did you see a set of keys?
I don't recall at the time, but since I've seen the video or the photos, yes.
Okay.
So she didn't even see the keys though. She saw the phone and all that, but she didn't even see the keys that they claim was shining out his pocket that looked like a pistol.
I'm just going to use the gun D. But... May I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm hanging this gun marked for identification purposes, defendants against Exhibit T. And again, we won't be admitting
I see.
situations with Adam Coy. You've been in situations with Adam Coy, 10 situations prior to this?
Yes.
Every type of run together?
Yes.
When you realized there was no gun, did you see Adam Coy?
Yes.
Was it fair to say he was upset?
Yes.
Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you saw when you guys realized there was no weapon.
Well, I'm not sure that I realized that there was no weapon. We didn't find anything around him. There was just, obviously there's an extreme amount of emotion that occurs. That's, no officer intends to do that. So unless there's a reason, he was visibly upset.
When you are trained, you're trained on threats, correct?
Yes.
There's non-deadly threats, there's deadly threats, correct?
Yes.
You can have an actual threat, someone with a gun pointed at the person, correct?
Correct.
You don't know if...
Oh, an actual threat. He gonna highlight that part, huh? That's why you and the old boy in jail right now, because it was not an actual threat. It was a perceived threat. You just see somebody with their hand in their pocket, you automatically think it's a gun and you shoot? That's crazy.
If the gun's loaded or not, correct?
Correct.
Person may have a knife or something like that, or a bat or a crowbar, right?
Yes.
That's an actual threat, correct?
It's actual deadly threat, yes.
You're also trained on perceived deadly threats, correct?
Yes,
Someone making a motion as though they're grabbing from their waistband a weapon.
yes,
Someone with something in their hand that may be mistaken for a weapon. That's still a perceived deadly threat, correct? And that's part of the training that you go through.
yes,
Okay. And you're trained on the case law and everything that officers will make mistakes sometimes.
yes.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
Officer Detweiler, thank you for your time. Appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
But
Thank you, Mr.
but if
Collins.
you a lay person, you're not allowed to make mistakes. You're not even allowed to defend yourself against an actual threat most of the time.
Questions, and hopefully we can get you out of here.
You're not even allowed to defend yourself against a actual threat. But then they could get away by defending themselves from a perceived threat. That's insane.
Mr. Collins was asking you questions about training with respect to being in an officer-involved shooting. Do you recall that question?
Training,
Let me rephrase. You've had training on what to do in an officer-involved shooting, correct?
I'm not sure, I don't quite understand your question.
All right. Let me see if I can rephrase it better.
They smell like a pile of bullshit!
You've been trained on the use of deadly force, correct?
Yes,
And you've been trained and gone to training and seminars about, the law surrounding use of force, correct?
yes,
Do some of those trainings entail individuals or former police officers from other states and other jurisdictions?
no,
Just local officers talking to you about those things?
I haven't been to outside training on officer-involved shootings, no.
At the time of the shooting, who was closer to the individual in the garage? Was it you or Mr. Coy? Or were you about equally distant from him?
I believe we were about equal distant, just on the same angle.
You stated that when the individual was coming out of the garage, he had a cell phone in his left hand and was walking out of the garage. Do you recall that question?
Yes,
And do you recall saying that you saw text bubbles as he was walking out?
I did, yes.
Okay. Could you read what those text bubbles said? Any words in them? Or did you just see the bubbles?
No, just the green bubbles.
Did you take that to mean anything?
With several green bubbles in a row, which leads me to believe it's a one-sided conversation.
And again, you didn't have a lot of time between the time you saw the green bubbles and the time the shots happened, correct? Seconds. Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Recross?
Thank you. Briefly, Your Honor. Officer Detweiler, how do you feel that you focused on that cell phone?
Sir?
How did it make you feel after the fact that you were focused on that cell phone?
Foolish.
Why?
Because if it was a distraction, I was distracted. I looked right at it.
And you indicated that you could not see the right side of the person coming across the car, the right hand, the right arm, or anything like that prior to the shots.
Obstructed from my view.
And you didn't shoot because you didn't perceive a deadly threat towards you or towards Mr. Coy.
Correct.
Had you perceived that, would you have shot?
I would have shot it.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Officer Detweiler. Okay, you can step down. State may call their next witness.
She didn't shoot because it wasn't no threat. It wasn't no gun. Y'all never found no gun. Y'all didn't see no gun. He gonna, jump out happy, go Willie. He like, I thought cops could do this, right? We usually get away with this. I don't understand.
wasn't no threat.
Of which I am still recovering and continued treatment. And additionally, I would like to express my overwhelming gratitude to my friends, brothers and sisters wearing the badge for their continued support and encouragement to stay strong and have faith in our judicial system.
Where's the gratitude for the victim? He didn't express no gratitude for the victim. Insane.
Dedicated my entire adult life to it. I feel my actions were justified and within the reasonable officer condition and the standard as set forth by case law. I disagree with the jury's decision because I believe they did not understand the response a police officer is trained to perform as it relates to the Ohio Revised Code, relative case law, and they were confused by the jury instructions they received and deliberated by. So because of that, I will be appealing the ruling, not just for myself, but for everyone in the law enforcement community.
Good morning. Today is a solemn yet significant day in our county and city. Before anything else, I want to honor the family of Mr. Andre Hill. Ms. Shauna, Carissa, Michelle, and all those standing in love and memory with them today. Your strength in the face of unimaginable grief is a testament to your love for Mr. Hill and your resilience in the pursuit of justice. I am deeply sorry for your loss. While there are no words that can erase the pain of his absence, today's sentencing affirms a critical truth. Accountability is essential to rebuilding trust in law enforcement and our justice system. There is no doubt that policing is among the most challenging, dangerous, and complex professions in our community. It is physically demanding, emotionally taxing, and requires the ability to make split-second decisions that can alter lives forever. That burden and the immense responsibility that comes with it must never be overlooked or taken for granted. And I want to be clear, the vast majority of Columbus police officers rise to the challenge every single day with integrity, professionalism, and deep commitment to the people they serve. But honoring that truth does not mean we ignore another. With the badge comes immense power, and with that power, an even greater responsibility to uphold the constitutional rights and dignity of every resident. These truths are not in conflict. We can and we must hold both. And when that power is gravely misused, accountability is not an option. It is essential. Under the strong leadership and continued advocacy of Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant and FOP President Brian Steele, I am confident that this deep Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant and FOP President Brian Steele, I am confident that this
absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
I almost thought she was talking about Brian Steele from YSL case for a minute. Hey, big shout out to Allie. Appreciate you dropping the 10, saying Blaze 1. Hold on, let me Blaze 1, Blaze up. Yeah, put one in the air for Allie. Appreciate you, family, dropping the 10. Y'all show her some love. Stream sponsor of the day. Her and Chan My Black is golden as always. Yeah, that's right. Throw her some coins, drop her some coins. Appreciate the love and support. Let's get back into it. Appreciate you, though. Blaze 1.
commitment to accountability and the gravity of responsibility is reflected in the culture and practices of the Columbus Division of Police. Accountability is not about targeting individuals or organizations. It's about strengthening the systems that serve us all. It's about ensuring that power is exercised with care and that harm, especially when inflicted by those sworn to protect, is not met with mere silence or impunity. There are no winners today. 2 lives have been forever changed, and 2 families carry the weight of that reality. But even in this painful moment, we take an important step forward in a much larger journey. Our journey towards a justice system that is more transparent, more accountable, and more grounded in the dignity of every person it serves. I want to take a moment to recognize the unwavering efforts of the prosecution team, Chief Counsel Renee Anlin and former Deputy Chief Counsel Anthony Pearson, who worked tirelessly and led this case with courage, integrity, and conviction. As a law enforcement agency, the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office is not here to take sides. We are here to uphold the law. Our commitment is to justice, no matter the individual, no matter the uniform, and no matter how difficult the case may be. I would again like to acknowledge the leadership of Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant, her team, and FOP President Brian Steele. Their commitment to building a community-focused department represents the kind of change this moment demands. And again, to the family and loved ones of Mr. Andre Hill, I want to extend my deepest condolences to you. May today bring you a moment of solace as you continue to grieve this unimaginable loss. Justice is not a single decision. It is a continuous commitment. As a fellow law enforcement agency, we too must commit to building systems that reflect our values: accountability, transparency, and transformative justice for all, because it is the only way that we move forward. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Hill's sister, Dr. Shauna Barnett, to share a few words.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming, thanks for having us out here. I really don't have too much to say except for I am glad that we are finally seeing some closure. It's not closing everything because, as I said earlier, the pain doesn't go away. We just have to learn to deal with it. The sentencing is not going to bring my brother back. The true justice will have him here. But I'm glad that we have come to this conclusion thus far, and hopefully we can make a change. Things need to change. That's all I have to say.
Hello, everyone.
All right, we come back to him. We're going to get back to the court session. We still got 2 more officers, I believe, that testified in this case. So let's go on and get to that. I was trying to find this click thing, but man, I just had to update my system before I started this stream, and some of the things is not like they supposed to be as usual, but I still want to drop a bomb. Boom, here we go for Allie. And let's keep it rolling. Appreciate you, Allie. Shrink this.
Good morning. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Lady Justice is blind. Everybody can hear.
You may be seated. All right, I'm going to ask if you pull that microphone a little closer. And it is important that you speak into the microphone so that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury can hear you. Yeah, you can raise this chair as high as it can go. Okay. Okay. It's also important that when responding to questions, that you do so verbally. It's kind of difficult to understand.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the record, if you please state your name, spelling your last.
Benjamin Branford, last name B as in boy, Roger, Adam, Nora, Foxtrot, Ocean, Roger, David.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Morning.
Officer Branford, where are you employed?
With the Columbus Division of Police.
And how long have you been employed there?
Going on 12 years, sir.
Okay. And what duty and capacity are you employed?
I'm a patrol officer.
All right. Where is your, do you have a specific precinct or jurisdiction that you're a patrol officer?
Yes, sir. 3 precinct. Mostly the Clintonville area.
Have you been employed as a patrol officer that entire time in that 3 precinct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to going and becoming a patrol officer for the Columbus Division of Police, did you have any other law enforcement job?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any prior military experience?
Yes, sir.
Where?
I was with the United States Army, both active and reserve.
So tell us the type of things that you do as a patrol officer on 3 precinct.
As patrol officer, I'm responsible for patrolling my cruiser district, the precinct when available, and taking dispatch runs as they're dispatched, or I can conduct pickup runs as I see incidents unfold.
Okay. And how do you respond to being called out to a run?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Do you respond with that microphone that's on your chest? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you also have a computer in your cruiser?
We do.
Do you have a specific partner or anyone that you work with?
From time to time, I work with a partner, but no, it's just based on who's there at the time.
Okay. And what time of day do you work?
I work evenings, 3rd shift from 11 p to 7 a.
Were you working that shift on December 21st or 22nd, 2020?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury about your activities that night? Do you recall them?
Like all the activities, or
just
leading up to that?
Yeah, when you came onto work, probably around midnight. What do you recall?
Okay, there was 4 of us that were at work that night on our precinct. We didn't have a sergeant. We did have a covering sergeant. I cannot recall who that was, but there was 4 officers assigned to that precinct that night. We were all in individual cruisers. Just prior to the incident in question, we were called out for either a robbery or robbery in progress at a different location. All 4 of us responded to that run. Took a while to resolve that run.
Wait, did he say a robbery, or is he talking about a different case? Oh, he's okay. I think he's talking about something else. Hold on.
We all had to go to lights and sirens. Ultimately, ended up being not a robbery or a robbery in progress. It was.
No, he did say that. Hold on. What the hell, Bobby? Wait a minute.
Some kind. 4 of us were either a robbery in question. We were called out for either a robbery or robbery in progress at a different location. All 4 of us responded to that run. Took a while to resolve that run, which we all had to go to lights and sirens. Ultimately ended up being not a robbery or a robbery in progress. It was some kind of disturbance between family members.
Why would they be called out for a robbery? And it wasn't no disturbance between no family members either. That's a lie too. But why would they be called out there for a robbery when the initial call was for domestic, for a sound issue, saying that sound disturbance? Where did the robbery come in at? That's crazy.
Unauthorized use of motor vehicle, I believe.
Okay.
So once we finished that, we'd all went our separate ways to, I assume, I can't speak for the other officers, but I went up to North High Street to start working on that incident report.
All right. So did you get to North High Street to start working?
Okay, on a different run. Okay, okay. Well, tell me something. Shit, I was about to say.
Working on that incident report?
I did.
All right. And what happened after that, Officer Branford?
Well, while I was working on the incident report, I heard an officer come over the air and state shots fired. I wasn't sure who it was. I thought it was Officer Detweiler. And I looked at my computer to find out where that location was, that officers were involved in an incident. And once I figured out where I needed to get to, I turned on my lights and sirens and proceeded to that location.
Okay. And with that, is that what you're supposed to do?
Yes, sir.
About how long did it take you to get there?
I would guess 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. So was this a lights and sirens call?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this was a high priority run?
Yes, sir.
Can you discuss the priority of runs?
Priorities of runs?
Yes.
Well, there's several priorities, one being the highest level, and I believe 9 being the lowest. You typically, on the computer dispatch system, you're typically sent on runs roughly between 1 and 5. I believe 5, maybe 4 even. I think it's 5, like something we get called too often is like 16C, noise complaint, especially in the college area that I work. There's people that play the radios loud. That's like a level 5. Something higher priority where shots are fired, such as this, would be a 1.
Okay. So this would be the highest level call?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you know whether an officer was shooting or had shot someone or had been shot?
I did not at the time.
So this is a high priority run. You turn on your lights and sirens and you try and get there as quick as possible. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry if I asked you this question before. Do you recall how long it took you to get there?
No, I'd have to look. You can see there's a en route and a arrive button, and assuming that I press those in that kind of a situation,
Ohio.
I might annotate it, but I don't know.
Hill, an unarmed black man, still alive as he lay wounded on the ground. To show Andre Hill, an unarmed black man, still alive as he lay wounded on the ground. For more than 5 minutes, officers left him lying there without giving any first aid. Mr. Hill was wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt under his sweater, calling for justice for George Floyd.
Let's cuff him up.
Copy.
It then took between 5 and 13 minutes before anyone attempted to save Andre Hill's life, according to his family's lawyer.
Everybody turn your cameras on. Cameras on. Anybody doing anything for him?
No, yes, sir. We contact medics.
I copy.
Get some gloves. You got gloves on?
Yes, sir.
Start pumping his chest.
So an arrive button. Talk about what that is.
In the cruiser computer system, there's a dispatching system or program that once the dispatcher sends you the run, you're to acknowledge it. In a high priority or a high stress situation like this critical incident, there's been times where I can't speak for other officers, but I may not have pressed the button to show that I'm en route or even that I'm arrived.
Okay, so there's a button that you have located in your cruiser that signifies and provides a signal to where dispatch that you are at a particular location?
Yes, assuming there are some other assumptions with that. Assuming you are, the dispatch knows that you're going. I mean, typically on a run like this, most of the area, precinct and zone, tends to head towards that location because of the priority. So at that point, I did not mark on the air and say, or that I recall, I didn't mark on the air and say 33 en route.
Yeah, because your biggest goal was to get there, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, that was your objective, to get there. What about the lower priority runs, like the noise complaints and those sorts of things? Do you hit your arrive button when you arrive for those?
You're supposed to, yes.
22nd of December is now being investigated.
Andre Hill should be alive today. A Columbus police officer is responsible for his death. I can't defend it. I can't make it right. But I will do what is in my power.
Andre Hill's daughter is haunted, imagining her father in his final moments.
I gotta memorize my dad on the floor for the rest of my life and how nobody helped him. How there's 22 officers on the scene with body footage and not one of them helped my dad.
The family says they won't stop.
So you arrive to Oberlin, and what do you see and what do you do, Officer Branford?
Well, the route that I took, I went southbound on Shattuck Avenue, which intersected into Oberlin Drive. And once I turned west on Oberlin Drive, there was another cruiser that was already there. I believe it was Officer Lisco's cruiser. And I don't recall if I saw her get in her trunk, getting out of the vehicle, or what she was doing. I thought she was getting scene tape. I can't recall, though. That might have been knowledge after the fact. Then the next, I parked my vehicle. Not sure if I was on the north or south side of the street. But when I exited, started going westbound towards the incident, then I next came in contact with Officer McPherson, who was also putting up scene tape. I can't recall verbatim what I asked him or what I said. Probably something similar to what needs to be done or where's the scene. And I can't recall if he gestured or what exactly he had said. But I headed westbound toward the scene. And once I was going or cutting across the yard, I saw what I thought was, I saw an officer on it would have been the west side of the driveway, maybe in the middle of the driveway, I'm not exactly sure. But I thought that was Officer Coy. I'm not exactly sure if it was or not. I thought there was another officer standing next to him or nearby. Again, wasn't sure. I remember asking something to the tune of what needs to be done or how can I help? I'm not exactly sure what I uttered at that point. And one of the two officers pointed towards Mr. Hill, who was laying in the driveway.
Okay.
At that point, about simultaneously, when I looked over in that general direction, Officer Barsati stated something to the effect of, we need to put cuffs on him. I went over, immediately started assisting, rolling Mr. Hill over. I'm not sure if it was Officer Barsati or another officer that placed the cuffs on.
But, sorry to interrupt, but those weren't your cuffs?
They were not.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Then we rolled Mr. Hill back over, and then from that point, there were several officers that started arriving on scene, and or maybe were already there. I'm not exactly sure of when officers arrived. There were a couple that went into the garage and did a quick sweep of that. And I think even I think if you see on the body camera, I believe I took 1 or 2 steps in there and shined my flashlight around.
What were you looking for when you shined your flashlight around?
Well, we didn't know, at that point, I didn't know what was going on. And it can be heard in my body camera several times that I've asked during the incident what was going on or what, does anyone have any idea what's, what we're looking for?
Why is that important to you, or are you even asking that question?
Because
And why would all y'all be there and y'all don't know what's going on? This has been, like, he been shot this dude long before y'all arrived. Why do nobody know what's going on yet? Why he ain't said, like, shots fired, I shot somebody or anything like that? They just sitting there lost, and he walking around in circles, breathing hard, coughing and spitting all over the place.
Scene security. There could be other issues that cause harm to anyone that's there on the scene.
And so that's important for you to know to help you do your job.
Yes.
And so at this point in time, you're on the scene, you have cuffed Mr. Hill, but you still don't know what's going on.
That's correct.
All right, and you're actively inquiring, asking other officers, I'm sorry?
Not repeatedly, but I'd asked the duration while I was on scene, I'd asked multiple times.
Okay. You stated that you took a couple of steps in the garage and looked for weapons and things of that sort?
Well, I said I think that I stepped or went into the garage. There were a couple other officers that can be seen on the body camera, if I recall correctly, that were looking into the garage. Whether I just moved my flashlight in their direction or actually went in there, we would be looking for anything, whether it's weapons or people.
And if it was still a victim, I mean, not a victim, a suspect, like somebody with a gun, you think this dude would be over here walking in circles like, oh my God, all panicking. Then the other officer there, what about the lady? She didn't tell you that? Why is y'all in there searching the garage like somebody was in there shooting at this dude?
Any kind of evidence that might help understand the situation.
All right. Are there like 3 objectives that you have, or that are in your mind when you arrive on a scene such as this?
Well, isn't this?
Well, if you're referring to what we previously discussed, one of the things that after this incident, there was something that I put on our whiteboard in our
Objection, Your Honor.
All right. Excuse us a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Please approach.
Yeah, they be wildin', man. That's crazy. Hold on, let me rewind this. Listen to some of this dude after the incident. Oh, whoop. Then he turned his body cam on after.
You gotta.
But not this part, not this part. That's not what I'm talking about, though. This part. Oh, I think I passed it. After it's happening. Look, the dude is over here on the ground now. Like, you ain't giving him no type of assistance. You ain't trying to help him. You sitting here walking. Oh, let me blow it up for y'all can see it. He on the ground and you over here walking in circles. I cut it down so y'all ain't gotta hear too much of that, but that's how he sound in the back. Alright, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I ain't gonna do y'all. That's enough. But that's how he was doing that for like a good 10, like, I don't know. It felt like 10 minutes to me. I don't know exactly how long it was, but it felt super long. Crazy stuff right there. I'm gonna fast forward to where fast forward past this sidebar. Hold on. Dang. Hold on. This is the cop that shot him that's coughing like that. That's the one that shot him. It's eating his stomach up. Then he told the cop, let me go to my car and get something. Let me get the water out of my car.
You can talk to whoever you want to talk to down there, right? You got your phone with you?
Yeah. Okay. I gotta figure out when I miss.
Huh? We'll take care of that, I promise you. We're gonna say anything about that in a second. You got your phone with you?
Okay. I gotta figure out when I miss.
Huh? We'll take care of that, I promise you. We're gonna. You can talk to whoever you want to talk to down there, right? You got your phone with
What
you?
do you mean by that? I gotta figure out what I missed. What did he miss? We talking about what he left in his car, what he forgot to take out so he don't get in trouble, and then watch. This dude caught the clue and he gonna walk away.
Okay. I gotta figure out when I miss.
Huh? We'll take care of that, I promise you. We're gonna say anything about that right in a second. I'm gonna go throw my stuff in the back, okay?
Look, talk about I'm gonna go put my stuff in the back, okay? So this is the cop that's supposed to be watching him and make sure he keep an eye on him after because it was an officer involved shooting. And then as soon as he walks away, watch what this guy do. Turn around and grab something out his car. Trying to figure out what I missed, huh? Might that be what you missed? Might this be what you missed? Might it be some pills or some types of drugs? Are y'all covering up for a crime? Rico gang?
We'll come back for this. We're just gonna head down the road. Let's get you out of here for a second.
We got any bosses here?
No, Sarge's on his way. Yeah, we'll air it and he'll come down there and talk to you. I'll call Sergeant. You can look at these. You can shut off right now.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
415 and 15 secure from that extent.
From 30.
Good boy.
You don't want to stand down here. All these flashing lights and all that whatnot. We'll just go down the other road if you want, man. I know you're kind of...
Let's walk down the street so you can drop the evidence so you can get rid of your pills.
What do you want? Hey, listen. What do you want?
Let's just walk over there.
Okay, if that's what you want to do, man. I'm just here to...
The evidence is going to show that anything that I may have said, they exacerbated it.
Yeah. I just had to tap that in a little bit. But anyway, it looked like they coming back. Oh, they might be back. Okay, hold on. Let me rewind it. I forgot to turn the volume on. Let me rewind it. Appreciate y'all being here, though. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tap in. Share with your mama. No, I'm just playing.
When you were on the scene, did you have like 3 objectives that were important to you, such as securing the scene, rendering aid, and preservation of evidence?
There's actually more than that. When we spoke, I informed you of the 3 that I put up on our board to remind individuals, but there are actually, I believe, 9.
Okay, let's talk about the top 3 because those would be the most important, right?
Arguably.
Okay, so what would be the first thing?
Scene security.
Okay, and what would that entail?
That would entail.
Ain't he supposed to be a cop? Ain't they supposed to be loud spoken and all that? Why he in here like, oh, he's speak up on the mic, officer. Use your man voice.
At that point, any officer on scene would typically keep their firearm out, still looking for any kind of threat that might be present, whether they're sweeping an area or searching an area, whatever the incident calls for.
Okay. What about the next one, rendering aid?
Rendering aid. What's the question, sir?
Talk about that and its importance.
Well, the importance of rendering aid is kind of self-explanatory. It's to render aid to individuals who might need it, but the rendering aid is not exactly what is spelled out in our directives.
Okay. And preservation of evidence?
Yes, that is farther on down the list, so that's not technically number 3. I don't know all 9 of them in exact order, but that would be farther on down the list. There's others that would be like witnesses. If you find any witnesses, separate witnesses, safeguard evidence, things of that nature.
Okay. So just to be clear, there's really a checklist and a flow chart of how these things are supposed to go.
There's a list listed in, actually it's in several different places in our directives or training circulars or even supervisor's manual. There are different lists and most of them do not mirror each other.
Okay. Moving on. So what did you do after you placed the cuffs or assisted in the cuffs being placed on Mr. Hill? What did you do then?
Well, as I said, there were a couple officers, and like I said, I can't recall if I stepped into the garage, but there were some of those that searched the garage, and then a majority of the other officers, or actually, from what I can recall, all the other officers from that area where I was in front of the garage went into either around the house or into the house. I'm not exactly sure because I was not with them. I stayed with Mr. Hill's where he was located and kept my flashlight on him.
Okay. And at some point, a sergeant came and told you to do chest compressions?
That's correct.
Okay, and you did that?
I did.
Did you have gloves on you at the time?
I believe I did.
And how long? So you did chest compressions until the medic arrived?
Once they arrived, they asked how long I was doing chest compressions. I believe I told them a minute and a half to 2 minutes or something similar. And I believe they had someone else take my place before. I'm not sure if it was another medic or another officer that took my place.
Okay, and then the medics arrived on scene?
Well, the medics were the ones that asked that question. So I don't know when they said, they asked how long, because you don't want someone doing chest compressions for too long. You become fatigued. So they had, I don't know if it was another officer or another medic that was instructed to take over for me.
Okay.
Like a bag of bullshit!
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
Hey, yo, shout out to Joni Ford for dropping a gifted membership. Appreciate you joining tonight's sponsorship. Y'all drop her some coins and drop some Blue Jays in the chat. She does have her own emoji. Ali, let me know what you want. What you want for your emoji, Ali. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep it rolling. Shout out to tonight's stream sponsors.
Thank you. And you know Adam Coy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom? Stipulate to ID?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay. Okay. ID is stipulated. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Good morning.
My name is Mark Collins. I don't know if you look familiar. I don't know if we formally met, but we talked on the phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And thank you. And thank you for your service. Appreciate your service, military service. So the run you were initially on was a a robbery in progress, right?
That's correct.
So when you're heading there, it turned out it wasn't a robbery, correct?
Yes,
And that happens a lot, doesn't it?
it does.
You're sent out on a run what you think something is, but it doesn't turn out to be that way, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have to be ready for whatever you encounter at that scene.
That's correct.
And is it fair to say that, have you responded to shots fired scenes before?
Yes, sir.
And is it fair to say, and I know there's outliers, but it's usually pretty chaotic or usually people, arriving officers tend to not know what's going on, correct?
That's correct.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? That's not uncommon in where shots fired responses for officers getting there who weren't there originally, correct?
It's not uncommon. That's correct.
And then when you first got there and you came up, you handcuffed the person that was in the floor of the garage.
I assisted, yes.
And that's based on training because that person can still be a threat.
That's correct.
Okay, so it's not something you do to be mean or anything like that, or it's what you initially did, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then, for your 13 years as a police officer, is it fair to say you rely upon your reasonable suspicion analysis?
Just to correct real quick, it's just 12 years.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
In your 12 years, you're trained and you have to rely on your process for when you believe you have reasonable articulable suspicion, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that means to you.
For reasonable suspicion?
Yes.
Well, there are two different types of, two primary types of ways you determine what kind of incident or what authority you have as a law enforcement officer. There's reasonable suspicion and there's probable cause.
Are we talking about with black people, white people, Hispanic, or is it just all the same for everybody?
Probable cause being the higher of the two that gives you authority to arrest an individual. It would be like hard evidence, something that is something that you can either concrete or evidence that shows that this person can be arrested. Reasonable suspicion, a little bit lower than that, is more what you would consider inclination. You have a sense, or you see things. For example, if I'm driving behind a car, it's easier to explain an example. If I'm driving in my cruiser and I see someone going over the speed limit and swerve out of their lane, I have reasonable suspicion that they could potentially be intoxicated. That could be one explanation. That gives that inclination that there's something going on. If I pull the individual over and do field sobriety tests and then further they take a blood alcohol content, or a breathalyzer, and they are found to be over the limit, then I've got that hard evidence that leads me into probable cause for arrest. So.
Well done, appreciate it. So basically,
Speaking of sobriety tests and tests and stuff, did y'all test the officer to see if he was high that day or drunk? Did they give him any type of blood test or urine test?
it gives you a duty to investigate.
Yes, sir.
And you have to investigate, correct?
Yes.
And many times when you investigate your reasonable suspicion, it turns out that it was nothing at all.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it leads you to investigate more.
That's correct.
Like in the OVI stop, you might ask them to do the field sobriety test. If they had an explanation, oh, hey, this is what happened, you may be like, okay, you're fine, right?
That's correct.
And then sometimes you actually solve a crime or help, then go to the probable cause.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. And you'd use that every day that you're on the patrol?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also, you've participated in the shoot, don't shoot scenarios with firearms training, correct?
Yes, I have before.
That's a controlled environment, right?
It is.
Very well lit.
Yes.
And the object is to try to have people train.
There are different types of fire. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Very good. And actually, you're trying to train off, or you're trying to receive training that allows you to be more, comfortable is not the word, have more exposure to split-second decisions.
That's correct.
And you have to decide between an actual threat and a non-threat, right?
Yes, sir.
An actual threat could be one thing. There can also be a perceived threat, correct?
Yes, sir.
And both of those can be deadly, correct?
Yes.
And based on your training, if you perceive a deadly threat, you don't have to wait, do you?
No.
Action's faster than reaction, correct?
Action beats reaction.
You don't have to wait for someone to thrust the knife at you or pull the trigger.
Negative.
Okay. And if you reasonably, or if you perceive that, you're allowed to respond, and you're not trained to injure somebody, correct?
You're trained to stop the threat.
Okay. You're not trained to kill somebody, right?
Negative.
And so you, whatever, so in the course, if the sheet goes down or the machine turns sideways, that's when the threat is stopped.
That's correct.
And every situation could be different. Could be one bullet, could be unload the entire clip, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
They just got the license to kill. He just told you they got a license to kill. That's why the officer don't feel he did no wrong, because they very clearly feel like they got a license to kill.
My co-counsel said I've covered everything. Thank you, Officer Branford. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Redirect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Branford. The state has no further questions. Officer Branford, my apologies.
Okay. Officer, you can step down.
Your Honor.
That's insane. Insane in the membrane. So we got one more. It's not that long. Let me see. It might be about 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. No, I'm just playing. I don't think it's that long. But anyway, before we get to that, I got one more thing I want to show for those who just now tapping in and didn't catch the intro and want to catch up to where we at. I got a little something for you. Let me show you real quick. Not that one, but here we go.
Hey yo, peace family. Welcome back to Flesh of the Gods. So on the last episode, we were witnesses to the truth not written in legal documents, but etched in the raw grief of a family. We heard the voices of Andre Hill's daughter, his ex-wife, and his sister, each one a testament to the pain and terror unleashed by a single moment. His daughter, in a heartbreaking revelation, spoke of her newfound fear of the very officers sworn to protect her, a fear born from watching her father be gunned down while holding nothing more than a cell phone and a set of keys. Now, we return to that trial, knowing the verdict has been delivered and Adam Coy was found guilty of Andre Hill's murder. Today, we'll be rewatching day 2 of the trial, moving from the emotion to the cold hard facts of the courtroom. The narrative of what happened is a battlefield, and we focus on the most pivotal witness yet, Officer Amy Detweiler. She was the only other officer present, a ghost in the periphery of a life and death moment. We'll watch as the state meticulously question her, building the case for a conviction, and we'll also see the defense's intense cross-examination where they sought to dismantle her testimony and find every crack in the state's argument. This isn't just about a trial. This is about dissecting the evidence that led to a guilty verdict, watching the very story of that night be built and torn apart. We saw the horrific video that showed the tragedy of Andre Hill's death, and now we'll break down the trial day by day. All of this video footage is from the public domain. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, tap in, share with a friend, stay vigilant, stay fresh, and stay blessed. Let's go.
As the court is aware, a jury convicted former Officer Adam Coy of murder, felonious assault, and reckless homicide back on November 4th of 2024 after approximately 2020
My brother was such a friendly man. They on a cold December ground face down for minutes. I didn't see anyone consoling him. I didn't see anyone rendering any aid to my brother. Impact of Adam Coy's actions is permanent. My brother's life was taken in the most extreme way, without cause, without humanity, without mercy. What Adam Coy did to my brother was the maximum, and the consequences of that choice, his death, can never be undone. This is why today we're asking for the maximum sentence, because Coy made a decision that delivered the maximum pain, because the weight of what was done deserves the full weight of justice. And just as that cannot be undone, the sentence handed down today should reflect the gravity of what can never be reversed. This is not about vengeance or revenge. It's about accountability, about dignity, about honoring the value of Andre Hill's life and the unimaginable pain left in the wake of his death.
I've had to get my daughter up off the floor. She's balled, curled up into a ball of depression and just what happened. She was daddy's little girl. Nobody can ever replace that. Officer Brown, Officer Cameron, I know all of them. They're very friendly. We still count on the police. I don't have panic attacks when I see the police. If someone looks at me sideways, that's the first thing I want to do is call the police.
To explain to them that a police officer took their big daddy away, that he's the reason their big daddy's not here with us no more. It's the hardest thing to do, because those are the people that they tell us to rely on. If something happens, you're supposed to call the police. And that night, someone thought they was doing the right thing, and they called the police, and now my dad's not here anymore. Rather, this man gets a life sentence, 15 years, 20 years, it will not change the facts or bring him back. These 5 years, he not only took my dad away, but he took me away. I am no longer able to do the things I was able to do with my dad here. I don't feel safe in Ohio. I don't feel safe around Ohio police officers.
I don't have panic attacks when I see the police. If someone looks at me sideways, that's the first thing I want to do is call the police.
Welcome to Flesh of the God.
Well, isn't this a nice
Murdering
surprise?
completely innocent person. Right, let's keep it real. Everyone needs to go to jail. I'm sorry, but everyone on this whole beef needs to be locked up, you know?
That's how they feel about us, huh? Everyone needs to be locked up. What's the difference with them? Shout out to Chama Black is Golden said, yeah, I'm done. He killed an innocent black man, was high on pills, another cop aided and abetted him and getting rid of the pills. He has no remorse. He wants people to feel sorry for him because he has cancer, and he ain't taking no type of responsibility. I add that part, but yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to Chama Black is Golden. Aaron said this happened 2 weeks after another officer-involved incident in the same county. Casey Goodson Jr. passed. Casey Goodson Jr. passed. That officer hasn't been convicted yet. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's keep it rolling. Appreciate y'all, family.
Penalties of perjury. You may be seated. All right, there is a microphone. It's important that you speak into the microphone so that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury can hear you.
Okay.
It's also important that you respond verbally. Sometimes it's difficult to interpret. All right, so for the record, if you please, state your name, spelling your last.
Paul Hill, Hill.
Okay, thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's still morning, so I can say good morning.
Morning.
Where are you employed?
Upper Arlington Fire Department.
And how long have you been employed there?
7 years and 2 months.
And what is your title?
Firefighter, paramedic.
What do those duties include of a firefighter and paramedic?
To do any tasks needed for the department, whether it comes to fire or medical, depending on which truck I'm on for the day.
Can you just give us a few examples?
From a medic standpoint, we take all emergency calls, any 911 calls.
Okay. And what shift do you currently work?
I'm on 2 unit, work 24 hours on, 48 hours off.
What are your current do you have days off, or does it just alternate depending on, I'm sorry, do you have specific days off, or does it just alternate depending on if you've worked the prior 24?
I have specific days off, so work 1 on, 2 off, and then sometimes we do work overtime and trades and things like that.
Okay. So back in December of 2020, were you working as a firefighter paramedic back then?
Yes, I was working as paramedic in charge on the ambulance.
Okay. So back in December of 2020, what station were you assigned to?
Station 72, which is on Reed Road.
All right. And can you tell us just generally kind of what the area is that provides service to, or what the boundaries are?
Yes, Henderson Road is our north boundary. Riverside Drive is our west boundary. Kenny Road is our east boundary, and Zollinger Road is our south.
Okay. Now, is Oberlin Drive considered part of your boundaries?
No, it's on the east side of Kenny Road, so it is not ours.
Okay. Do you sometimes end up on runs that are outside of what Station 72 would typically cover?
Frequently.
Okay. And what happens so to alert you that you are being dispatched to a run that's outside of your boundaries?
So if we get a mutual aid call, the city, specifically say City of Columbus or whichever department, they would call NREC, which is located in Dublin, by phone, and find to ask if our vehicles are available for mutual aid. Then if we are, they would dispatch us the same way they typically would do. We would get a pre-alert announcement in the fire station, and then we would be dispatched on the call.
And can you explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury just a little bit who don't probably know how the system works, kind of like how that dispatch system does work, and a little bit more about how you get notified?
So when our dispatcher receives the phone call, they will put out the pre-alert. It's very general. It's just basically letting us know that a call is coming in. It could say ill person, injured person, allergic reaction. It's just a general subject. From there, we start moving to the trucks, and then when we get into our trucks, typically by the time we get there, we have detailed notes of what we're going on, what's going on in the scene, any patient information they may have, any known history they may have, and if any medical personnel are on scene,
Everybody
maybe anything else.
Thank you. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. Were you working your regular shift on the late night of December 21st, early morning hours of December 22nd, 2020?
I was. My shift started at 7:30 on December 21st, and I was set to get off December 22nd at 7:30
Okay.
in the morning.
So you mentioned earlier that you were the paramedic in charge that day.
Correct.
For Station 72. What does the paramedic in charge do?
It would be my responsibility to document anything that goes on, and during patient care, it's my responsibility to determine how care is done.
Okay. Are you often responsible for writing reports as well?
That's expected when medic in charge.
Okay. All right. Now, you were talking a little bit about receiving information about a run. Is there a difference between the amount of information or the type of information that you receive when it comes directly from Upper Arlington versus when it comes from one of those mutual aid dispatches from another jurisdiction?
Yeah, so when it comes from an Upper Arlington run, we typically get names, phone numbers, age. If the person has a key code to get in the garage or something like that, all that information will be included. And if we have history with that patient, we may get some more information from previous runs. When it comes from Columbus, it's usually pretty vague. It'll just kind of give us a general sense of what we're going on, but not much more than that.
Okay. And on this particular date that we're talking about, were you dispatched on a run at around 2 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, our dispatch received the call at 1:59 a.m. and we were dispatched at 1:59 a.m.
And did that call come from whom?
Came from Columbus to NREC, who then dispatched us.
All right, and what information did you receive?
We were told that there was a shooting involving an officer and that the scene was clear to enter. We did not know if the officer shot or was shot.
Okay, so you just knew that there was an officer involved shooting, but you didn't know which, I guess, party was doing the shooting. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Like some y'all said earlier, somebody said in the chat, you know dang well it wasn't no cop because y'all would have heard officer down or officer shot, officer hit, and then y'all would have came in with the big guns.
And you said that you received information that the scene was clear.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what the significance of that information is, why you need that information?
It's in our SOPs or standard operating procedures that the fire department does not enter any scene if it's any type of act of violence until PD tells us it is safe to enter.
And this may seem obvious, but why is that?
Just for our safety.
So I guess he's saying that's why they had to go search the garage, because they had to clear it out before the fire department and stuff come in there. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, especially if he didn't express what happened. That kind of makes sense for them to search the garage because the cop ain't telling them nothing.
Okay. So it's part of your procedure that you can't enter a scene until it's been declared safe by police.
Correct.
Now, that call that you received, or the dispatch that went out to you at 1:59, do you recall the address that you were sent to?
I don't remember the exact address. I just remember Oberlin Drive. From the in-charge standpoint, really don't pay attention to the address.
Does 1054 sound about right? 1054 Oberlin?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, you indicated that the call came in around 1:59, correct?
Correct.
Do you know approximately how long it took you to get to the scene?
About in between 2 and 3 minutes.
All right. Once you got to that scene, were you allowed to go straight in?
Yes.
And then at that point, what did you do?
As we pulled up on scene, do you want me to explain
Yes,
this
please.
the whole process? Okay. As we arrived on scene, there were multiple cop cars as we pulled in, got to the driveway, got out of the truck, went towards the patient immediately, just noticed CPR was being done, which allowed me to know that we were going to be working an arrest, cardiac arrest. From there, I tried to get information from PD. I was unable to get all the information. The cops that were on scene said they had just arrived and didn't know all the details. The police officer who was doing compressions, I asked him how long he had been doing compressions. He said 2 minutes. And according to AHA, American Heart Association, you want to change out providers every 2 minutes so that way you get good compressions. People get tired as they go along.
And yeah, so for those who don't know, I see FFS asking the question. Yeah, it was a second-degree murder, and yeah, the prosecution was pushing to give him life. They was kind of pushing against him, so they did their job more than I've seen any other prosecution do. I say that. But also at the end of this, when I'm done with when this is done, we got one more clip, and then I'll play his sentencing. We'll play the sentencing on the way out so we can all see what he got charged with and all that. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's go.
Asked him to switch out with another officer on scene. Then I checked for a pulse, a carotid pulse. There was no pulse. His eyes were dilated. From there, my partner brought our autopulse and cot. We got everything ready. Autopulse is a machine that does manual compressions for us, so we don't have to do them. It opens up more hands to be able to work. I had the officers stop compressions to take the handcuffs off, so that way we could appropriately put him on the device. We moved him from there into our truck, and then we transported him to Riverside. En route, we attempted an IO, intraosseous, which is putting a needle in the leg, which allows us to give medications. It was unsuccessful. We got a IV in his arm, but by the time we got to the hospital, by the time that was successful, we were going into the hospital, so we did not administer any medications. We did not have a route to do so. As we arrived at the hospital, I got out of the truck and went in first to go into the room where he would be going, so that way I could give a report to everybody in the room. As I was done giving report, my partner and Columbus medics were bringing him in, and we transferred care.
Okay.
Oh, and then also Columbus medics showed up on scene as we were putting him on the autopulse, so they assisted in that.
Okay. Do you ultimately know what happened to that individual?
He was shot.
And as far as his injury or his status, do you ultimately know what happened to him?
He deceased.
All right. So I want to back up just a little bit. We've been talking about he. I'm assuming that this was a male patient, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. And do you recall, with a little more detail, where he was located when you approached him, where you found him?
Yeah, he was located in the driveway, just outside of the garage.
All right. And I believe you indicated he had a gunshot wound or more than one?
Yes. From initial assessment, it looked like he was potentially shot in the right leg. There was a large amount of blood there, and then also in the chest and abdomen area, there was also a large pooling of blood.
All right. Did he have any vital signs while you were there?
He had no carotid pulse when I checked, and we hooked him to our heart monitor, which showed asystole.
Do you recall any items nearby where he was located on the ground?
I recall a cell phone near him, and as well as keys.
And I think you mentioned this briefly. Were there other emergency vehicles on the scene at the time that you arrived or shortly after you arrived?
Shortly after, Medic 19 arrived.
Would Medic 19 be Columbus or?
Yes, sorry, Columbus Medic 19.
Okay. One moment.
Yes, you may.
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Amler. Yes. Cross-examination.
That's what they said 3 times. The audio wasn't on yet, so we couldn't hear how many shots it was, but yeah, it was definitely more than 1 or 2. So 3 or more, definitely.
Thank
you,
Thank you, Ms. Amler.
May I proceed?
You may.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Hill.
What up, Late Night Bacon with Mookie Mookie? What up, Vernicia Williams? I see y'all. Appreciate you joining, family.
Morning.
My name is Caitlin Stevens, and I, along with my partner, Mr. Collins, represent Mr. Coy in this action. If at any time I go too fast or you don't understand my question, please just ask me to rephrase.
Okay.
Have you testified in court before, sir?
First time.
I want to talk about your duty as a paramedic, and congrats on your first time testifying in court. As a paramedic, you're trained to respond to gunshot wounds, correct?
Correct.
And sir, in this particular case, you weren't interviewed until 8 days after the fact by BCI agents, right?
I don't know the amount of time, but it was after.
It was after the incident. It was not on December 22nd, 2020, right?
Correct.
And you were in charge, you said, of, you were the paramedic in charge of paramedic 72, correct?
Correct.
Your responsibilities as that paramedic in charge include writing a report, right?
Correct.
And it obviously includes responding to scenes
Correct.
and treating gunshot wounds, right?
Correct.
I want to talk to you about the system that you spoke with Ms. Amlin about with respect to Upper Arlington communicating with you, going through that end track to getting dispatched. You would agree with me that you're just provided limited information, right?
Correct.
And so that report is really you taking down those details that you compile as paramedic in charge, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you got to the scene, you stated that there was an officer who was doing chest compressions, correct?
Correct.
And he advised that he had been doing chest compressions for 2 minutes, right?
Correct.
And so you advised him to switch with somebody for chest compression purposes, correct?
Yes.
And you said you remember a set of keys near the victim's head, correct?
Yes.
You've gone to other shooting scenes and responded to other shooting scenes before, right?
Correct.
And so it's not uncommon where a person involved is actually handcuffed even though they're a victim, right?
Correct.
You mentioned part of your responsibilities in this case was writing a report.
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Sir, I am approaching you with what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 2. Let the record reflect that I have handed the witness what has been previously marked for identification purposes as Defendant's Exhibit 2.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, Mr. Collins was doing alphabets, just so that there's no less confusion.
This will be admitted that the alphabet won't. I'll switch to number.
Okay, all right. So Defense Exhibit 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, you had an opportunity to review that document, correct?
Yes.
That is the report that you authored as part of your responsibilities in responding to a scene on December 22nd, 2024, right?
Yes.
And that is a fair and accurate copy of the full report that you authored back on December 22nd, 2020?
Yes.
And you do this as a part of every time you are a medic in charge, correct?
Yes.
So it's part of your regularly conducted business activities that you have to do, that you're required to do as a paramedic in charge, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish this report to the jury?
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, you may.
I want to review some details in this report, sir. It talks about the times that you were dispatched. You would agree with me, right?
Yes.
And it says you were dispatched, or you received the call at 1:59, right?
Yes.
And going down that line, you were dispatched also at 1:59, correct?
Yes.
And you were en route at 2:02, correct?
Correct.
You were at the scene at 2:05, correct?
Yes.
And you were told at that time the scene had been cleared and it was safe for you to enter, correct?
Correct.
So by 2:06 a.m., you were at the patient, right?
Correct.
You noted additional details on this report, correct? Like where you were responding, that address?
That's put in by dispatch, yes.
Okay, so that part was put in by dispatch. It was also then noted on your report that the race of the victim was white, correct?
Correct.
Fair to say that you were working on this patient at 1 o'clock in the morning? 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, 2.
And it was very dark when you were working on this patient, correct?
It was.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hill. I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you. Redirect.
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens. All right, Mr. Hill, you can step down.
Well, Isn't this a nice ride?
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
Yeah, once again, major shout out to today's sponsors. Allie, Joni Ford, Chandmar Black is Golden. We still got a little bit more for you. We ain't done yet. We gonna get back to old boy we was playing earlier from the family. I think it's his brother that was about to speak. We gonna wrap that up and then we gonna get to the verdict and we up out of here. Appreciate y'all again. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, show our sponsors some love, drop them some coins. Let's get it, family.
I'm Anthony Hale. I'm the cousin of Andre Hill. A few things to say. First and foremost, I want to thank Ben Crump without his involvement.
Okay, my bad. His cousin, not his brother. It's his cousin.
This probably wouldn't have gotten this far. He really helped get Andre's case recognized and in the spotlight. We need to thank Anthony and Renee for putting it every effort they had all these years to get this case to trial and getting a conviction. They were able to bring justice to Andre and our family. We will forever be grateful. Andre was an amazing person, and his life was cut short by a cowardly police officer who should have never been still on the job. Until we start getting rid of the bad apples in the police departments that we do see, and have major police reform, especially in training, we will continue to have more Andre Hills being killed by the police. Thank you.
I will just say thank you to everybody who was there for us as support, to see the video for us. We saw it in the jury, especially. Thank you for coming up with the conclusion. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Again, thank you for your time, and we continue to extend our deepest condolences to the Hill family. Out of deep respect for this family, as well as the ongoing legal proceedings, we will not be taking any questions at this time. Thank you.
All right, that was a little faster than I expected, but that's cool because I'm ready. We ready for the sentencing. Here we go. Once again, appreciate y'all. Let's get it.
What we try to do is provide whatever anyone defines as justice. What the court does is not going to bring back Mr. Hill. What the court does may not bring closure to the family. What the court does may not bring healing to the family. I don't know that the court system is designed to be able to do all that. What the court has to do is take a look at the information before it and impose a sentence that the court finds is appropriate as prescribed by law. And that's what the court is doing in this case. I think it was also indicated how cases such as these impact both sides. Yes, it's something that all the families are going to have to live with. But yes, Mr. Hill, though, will not be here to have opportunities to spend time with his family. I know that the jurors took this matter very seriously in their deliberations and reached what they consider to be a fair verdict in this case. The court knows, because of the types of cases that the court deals with every day, that the jobs of law enforcement is difficult. I think everyone in the community gets that. Yes, they're difficult jobs that require split-second decisions. And what the community hopes is that we hire individuals and train individuals that when the moment comes to make those split-second decisions, that they make the right decision under the circumstances. And we know that the circumstances change, and the circumstances are different. So that's why officers carry such a large amount of responsibility in making the decisions that they have to make. Now,
which is why they should be held largely accountable for the actions they make. Y'all are here to protect us, not be out here killing us. So y'all should be held to a higher standard.
like the jury, I obviously had an opportunity to review the video as part of the evidence in this case. And I guess the jurors didn't say this, but at least in my reviewing it, assuming they placed some weight on the fact that Mr. Hill did absolutely everything that you asked him to do. You asked him to come out. You asked him to come out with his hands up. And that's exactly what he did. It was not like Mr. Hill was trying to evade. It wasn't like Mr. Hill was running at you. He was doing exactly what you told him to do, which is come out of the garage with your hands up. And so I think that carried a lot of weight when we look at the responsibility that we place on law enforcement to make the very difficult and tough decisions that they have to make each and every day. And it may be troubling to the community. I can't speak for the community. But that when someone complies with everything that the officer asks them to do and still gets shot, that officer, that individual needs to be held responsible for the actions that they took. And I think that's what the jurors did in this case, and that is why the court is imposing the sentence that the court is imposing in this case. All right, Mr. Coy, Mr. Collins did provide me the certificate of defense counsel. This is essentially acknowledging that you know and understand that you do have the right to appeal this decision. And I'm assuming that you've already had discussions at this point in time about counsel. And Mr. Collins, is my understanding, the court will not need to appoint counsel. That counsel has been retained.
Counsel's already in place, and we will go forward. It does not need a court-appointed vote. The only thing I know that we'll be applying for is the agency in terms of transcript.
Yep. Is it up on your screen?
It is, yes.
Mr. Coy, you should see on your screen notice of duties to enroll as a violent offender. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And looking down, I see what appears to be a signature here. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming that Mr. Collins went over with you what these responsibilities will entail once you are returned to the community.
He did.
Do you have any questions about your obligations and responsibilities to enroll as a violent offender, sir?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
All right. Are there any other matters that we need to get on the record?
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe the other counts, you need to run them concurrent.
No.
Oh,
No, since they merged.
You
Yeah.
did a merge of law, okay.
Yeah, no, since they merged, and the entry will appropriately reflect that they merged and are not concurrent. Okay, anything else for the record on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Collins. The prison imposed form have been completed.
We use that because of the parole board.
You're right. Yeah.
Because of the.
Right, because since it's not PRC.
And life.
I agree.
Yep. Yes.
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
One more big shout out to our stream sponsors. Y'all show them some love, drop them some coins in the chat. Chan My Black is Golden coming through with a gifted membership. Appreciate you on the way out. Like, we ain't wrapping up like that. Gotta drop some. Appreciate the love and support, family. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Chan My Black is Golden. Our stream sponsors, Ali and Joni Ford. Appreciate y'all. Let me drop a bomb for y'all real quick. One time for the one time. One time for the one time. If I can find it, there it go. Appreciate y'all. Aaron Adventuring, what up though? Appreciate you. Late Night Baking with Mookie, appreciate you, family. FFS, appreciate you. Miss DB, what up though? I see you, appreciate you joining. We on our way out though, but I still appreciate you joining. Shot Diggy, what up though? Appreciate you joining. Joni Ford. Let's see, Adventuring, Aaron. Okay. Jocelyn, appreciate you. I'm seeing doubles now. That's about it. FFS. Ali, shout out to Ali, stream sponsor. Appreciate it. So, they still talking. My bad. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night. We be back. Also, No One dropping a new track tomorrow. Y'all check out No One at 7 o'clock. And I'll probably be going live around the same time. So y'all check that out and come, maybe I'll go live right after he drop it. So yeah, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I'll let you know. It should be on the timer. I had to reset it. It's going to be about the queso trial. My fault, yesterday I had to take care of some things. But it's all good because I'm going to make a better show anyway. Plus, everybody was already talking about it. So, might as well, wait till this weekend. But again, I appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy. Much love, much love. And we will continue this trial. This is day 2, so we will continue this sometime next week. Sometime coming up soon. But other than that, stay fresh and stay blessed. Peace out.
Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a motherfucking good ass night.
Chasing down my goals, I self-law am master, supernatural disaster, metaphysical reaction. I am the flesh, I am the God. No one got the lab on lockdown. Talking hot winters and cold summers. Black Force Ones when we slide in the streets. We all stay home at a club jumping. What up, cousin?
Peace, love, and joy, Joni Ford.
Watch the trial, Leos be capping, chatting action. Come and tap in the most interactive. I am the flesh. I am the God. I am the flesh. I am the God.
Lots of people they gon' tap in. Gun flesh skin that we wrapped in. If you like us, gon' get the lights up. You can sub, you can share, tell them pack in. From the left, right, front to the passenger side. It's right here, the premiere.
Late night. Peace out, family.
Right here, slide coins up, got 100 bands. Mars eyes, watch how the check. And the band made love to a bomber head. 2 bands do a dance like check. I'ma keep going till I'm motherfucking tired. You what? I'm motherfucking tired. Slide brothers out, could we rain down game? Like, what you mean? Just watch the rise. Watch the rise. I am the flesh. I am the God. I am the flesh.
am the God.
Flesh of the gods. How she want. How she want. How she want. How she want. How she want.
I am the flesh. I am the God. I am the flesh. I am the God.
Flesh of the gods.